Plan to be perfect. Today's video is going to be all about grading essays. I came up with the idea of this video while I was actually grading essays myself. I have a big stack of essays that I have to have graded before students come back and before grades are due. I was thinking to myself, where exactly did I learn how to grade an essay? And you know what? I'm not sure that I learned it from one place. I think that grading essays, part of it came naturally from just knowing how to write myself, and then the other part of it came from several different experiences that I just continued to add to my repertoire. So various professional development from experts that came and talked to us, just I guess a combination of all those things is what helped me to become a better grader for my students. What about first year teachers? Or what about teachers who are not offered that professional development, or who are not English teachers and may not see a need for that type of professional development? So I just decided to make this video. It's definitely not in detail as if you're going to a workshop or anything like that. It's more of just the steps that I take in how to grade my essay. But I would like to definitely go into more depth in later videos if this one is pretty popular and I get a lot of thumbs up. So if you do like this video or this topic, go ahead and thumbs up this video for me so I know to continue a series of it. But for now, this is just a brief overview of how I set up for grading and how I grade essays. So let's get into it. So first things first, you have to be comfortable when grading. So I just have on my really comfortable sweatshirt and some leggings. So the first thing I do is collect my pens. I keep my pens in this new basket that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I have various colors and different things. I also keep pain medicine just in case I have a headache from grading too much. And as you can see, I just have a variety of colors and styles of pens. It just helps me be a little bit more excited about grading. I also have a hair tie close by because I hate the way my hair feels down while I'm grading. So just in case I don't have to get up from my seat. I also keep a calculator nearby. This pink calculator from Dollar Tree is what I keep in there just in case I need to figure out a score. The next thing I keep around is a clipboard. This is just so I have something firm to lean on, or if you don't have a clipboard, just a hard-covered book will be fine. So obviously the number one thing you need are essays, and here's my stack that I need to grade right now. And now the process can begin. Here are my essays. So now that we have our essays, what we need now is a rubric. We need to know exactly what we're looking for as we're grading. Otherwise, you can get really distracted with other things. So I like to have a copy of my rubric sitting to the side, which right now it's online, which is why the rubric is handwritten on the student's essay. I will transcribe the scores later on, especially when returning essays, but for now I just wrote it right on top of their essays. So now that I know what I'm looking for, I'm ready to grade, but I make sure that I have different colored pens just to keep me excited. So I'm starting off with this pretty blue, and I will change pretty quickly to another color. But just having different colors, I don't know, it makes me more motivated to keep grading. So I change up the colors with every single essay that I grade, just to keep me a little bit more motivated and to make the essay look cute. Just in case you were wondering, I have plenty colors to choose from. I told you I'm a pen fanatic, and this is just a portion of all the pens I've collected, but this is what is in my pen collection right now, so I have lots to choose from. So now we're actually getting to the part where I start writing comments. So basically I just start reading the essay, and as I read, I just write comments of like what comes to my head or what I'm thinking. So as I am mentally correcting their essays in my mind, I just write down what I am thinking, and I try to put it in friendly terms or kid-friendly terms so that they understand what I'm trying to say, but I just go paragraph by paragraph. So I'll go through the first paragraph and write down just things that jump out to me, whether it's ideas or questions I have about what they wrote, whether it's a suggestion, whether it's a grammatical error, a spelling error. I just read through and just write what comes to mind for each paragraph. After I've gone through each paragraph, then I reread all of my comments. I do adjust any comments that may need adjustments based on the whole essay. But after I've done that, I kind of count up the different or categorize the different types of comments that I've made so far. And then I look at my rubric and see where each one falls. And I kind of make a tally, sometimes in my mind, sometimes on paper, just kind of depending on how lengthy the essay is. But I'll make tallies as far as how many good things the kid did in that category or how many mistakes they made. Usually it's easier to do by tallying the mistakes or the comments that I've made as far as making improvements. And I use those tallies to help me figure out the numeric points that I will award at the end. So once I've tallied how the student did in each category, and I have a good idea of how they performed on this essay by rereading the comments, I just write down each category for the rubric on paper, on the back of the paper, or if I actually have a copy of the rubric on hand, then I'll do that as well. I normally do have the rubric next to me, but since I'm on break, I didn't have a stack of copies of the rubric, so I'm just writing it on the back of the person's paper. And basically how I came to it, each one is worth a different amount of points. So the intro was 10 points, so I kind of gave them 2 points for each part of the intro. So I'm looking back to the intro to reread my comments and see kind of how they did on it to remind myself, and then I give them 2 points for each part of the intro that they should have, and then another 2 points for just the overall flow and transitions. So looking back again to the comments to see, remind myself how they did. This person got an 8 out of 10 on this section because they had all parts of the introduction. They had the hook, they had the thesis, they knew how to try to flow from the hook to the thesis. However, the hook suggested one thing, but they never really explained that in those sentences. So that is why they were awarded an 8 out of 10. This person did a decent job on the thesis. They had the parts of the thesis. However, the way that they began the thesis needed a little bit more work to help with the flow. So instead of the full 10 points, they received a 9 out of 10. Next, for the reason, those are the reasons that they included in their thesis, and they had 2 reasons. One was a pretty solid reason, the other was not really explained very well, so I took a few points off for not explaining one of the reasons well, so 18 out of 20. Next was evidence, and I'm looking back to remind myself what evidence the student used. And even though she does need to work on introducing the evidence a little bit better, she still will get full credit for using the evidence because that is what we are grading on. That's the goal here, is getting the students to look up evidence or find evidence and use it. So since that was the goal, she accomplished that goal and she gets a full 20 points. I'm also looking here for how she explained the evidence, and that is where the main problem of this essay lies. She did try to explain the evidence, however, her analysis of that evidence didn't really support what she was trying to say. So because the analysis was either non-existent or off, I did not give any points in that category. The conclusion, however, was perfect. It fit what we were looking for, so she got a full 10 points. In grammar, there are a few minor mistakes. I'm looking back to remind myself of what grammar comments I made, and I only saw about 2 different comments, so I only took off 1 point because it wasn't a perfect 10. So now I am going to grab my handy dandy calculator, and I'm just adding up all the numbers. Even though I could probably do it in my head, it just makes me feel better to know that I used a calculator and that I am accurate in my addition. So I'm just going to go ahead and add up all of the points to see what the final score will be. I hope you liked this video. If you'd like more videos just like this, then give a thumbs up on this video, and also go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's free and it's supporting me with Plan to Be Perfect. Also, please follow me on all social media, including Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter.